Welcome to the Comedy Arcade, live from the Cavendish Arms. How exciting. We're all here. We've all got legs. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. We have a beautiful Zoom audience in front of us as well, including the brilliant Shirley, who is the landlady of this fabulous establishment. Right.
Thanks for having us, Shirley.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
welcome.
We can hear them as well.
This is great.
So
Yeah,
good.
I thought it would be like, oh no, we'll just see them go.
Yeah, exactly.
Other people are watching as well. It's not just these guys.
Hello, everybody else.
Hello, everyone else.
My mum will be watching.
Wait, my mom doesn't want me do any of this stuff.
Aw.
No, there's a reason.
But she still has opinions.
Oh yeah,
about
absolutely.
What you do,
She'll text my sister who will watch and be like, "Why is he still doing that? Huh? Has he finished cooking that cake?" And just
No, she's here, but she's here to watch me.
Masud, you could learn from her. Really, she's got good presence. Thanks, Mom.
I've already lost control. Right. It's a very special crossover episode with the Mystery on the Rocks.
Hey, all right.
We have the glamorous Sooz Kempner, we have the lovely Chris Stokes, and the brilliant Masud Milas.
All right.
It's going to be so great. Right, do you guys know the rules?
No.
It's a
But
traditional
since
question.
I got the
'cause
shittest compliment there, I don't care.
Oh, lovely.
Brilliant, Masud Milas. Glamorous, Sooz Kempner. And yeah, lovely.
And Chris.
he's also here. No, for the people that never read the email, it's become a joke now. I don't know what I'd do if people said they had. But yeah, for the people who are new to the Comedy Arcade, how it works, I've got 30 topics in a bingo ball, including some very special sexy Mystery on the Rocks exclusive categories.
Oh my god.
Wow.
When the balls come out, you will give me your best anecdote, story, song, and because it's live and people can see us, unlike the normal audio experience, interpretive dance if you want. No one's taken that option yet, but
I will do that.
Oh,
someone's
good.
got to be first,
I'm
haven't
glad
they?
that's an option.
The scoring is what I like the best. So if I found it funny,
Oh, right.
you'll get a point. If I found it interesting, you get a point.
In which case, I
Sometimes,
changed. Like, I really liked my compliment at the beginning.
Yeah, I've just drawn a line through your column, to be honest. You've already lost. But yeah, all right. There are normally other rules, but I can't be bothered to explain them. So we're just going to crack on. We're going to roll the ball. Let's do this.
All right.
I think that's a really lovely noise, by the way.
Stop complimenting. It's too late, Chris. It's too late.
You look really nice, Vix.
I like
The
how
whole
your-
outfit.
I like how your dress and your hair matches. It's really
He doesn't know what he's saying.
I know you're not telling the truth, but I'm going to give you a point. And the category is conspiracy theories.
Oh!
There we go.
Sooz.
Give Sooz the point now.
Yeah.
It's almost like I planned this.
All right, okay. I got under siege by Michael Jackson truthers, right? And the reason was on a Zoom gig about a month ago, I have a bit where I talk about the Mega Drive game, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Great game from 1988, before we knew. And I just do a bit of material on it.
Well, he
right?
rescues children, doesn't he? I've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen-
he's rescuing kids. Anyway, they all look very blonde, and a woman on the Zoom gig just started shouting out, "Michael Jackson is not a paedophile! Michael Jackson is not a paedophile!" Which is fine if you're in. It's not that fine if you're on a stage and there's an audience in front of you. But on Zoom, she's just the same volume as me at the act, right? So I had to just go, "Oh yeah, he is," for a while, and then just plow on. So I then went on Twitter and said, "Weirdest heckle I've ever had." I do a bit on Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, the video game, and then a woman just started screaming, "Michael Jackson is not a paedophile." Anyway, the Michael Jackson truthers found it, and they are savage, right? And they came up with a conspiracy theory about me, which is that I am an alcoholic child molester.
What?
I wonder how they came up with that plot.
I know, the
halfway,
projection
okay,
scene
that's
is
halfway,
pretty
yeah.
strong.
It's just a shame she
is.
doesn't drink. It's,
So anyway, well,
So
that's
was she a
basically-
fan prior to that point? Like, what was she doing on
She
your
must
gig?
have been
Yeah.
the lady.
Yeah, of
she
yours,
must have been.
though. What was she doing at
Oh
your
no,
show?
she was not a fan of mine at all, before or after
What
that
was she
bit.
doing there then?
Just like watching a comedy gig.
Oh.
It wasn't on Twitch or anything. It was on Zoom. It was for it was a corporate. So like it was like how can this be the worst corporate that's ever happened? But all I could hear was the other act roaring with laughter. So it was the best thing that ever happened to them in lockdown.
I did a gig recently that was like that. It was an American woman again who was just giving her feedback after everyone's joke. each one. And
Real good.
it was very funny, but also very harsh. So I was in two minds because the gig was not going well for me. So I was like, yeah, sure, this is a two-hander. This is, I am the straight
What
woman.
was her feedback?
to
Was it,
you.
oh, lovely?
Why do they? No. Why do they all bomb? They always bomb at this gig.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
I thought you said she was paying compliments.
New material. She's like, don't do that. Don't do new material. I was like, this is a new material gig.
And that woman turned out to be Roseanne.
But we couldn't find her to mute her, so she was there for the whole show, and it was.
I bet she had a camera off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
she
that's
did.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
she
that's
did.
it.
Yeah,
Always
she did.
brave with the camera off, aren't they? It's like
Yeah,
being an egg on Twitter.
Show us your comedy then. Yeah, she liked the one-liner guy. Well, she liked about 50% of his material based on her immediate feedback. So,
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, if
she
it was
laugh
so
at
bad,
all?
just fuck off. Like, what are you doing?
That happened to a friend of mine. Somebody was doing a gig and someone in the front row, only he could hear them. They went, it's fucking rubbish. And he was like, but then no one else heard him.
Was
And
he
he was like,
talking to him,
yeah,
though?
they were talking directly to him. And he's like, what? And no one else heard him. And he was just like, oh no.
Give up.
Did
It's
no one
not
else
for
catch
you.
that? Ridiculous.
Did he think it was like an existential voice in his
Yeah,
head?
he's like, surely, am I going crazy? It must be.
I had a woman and she was sitting in the front row, so I could see her, but nobody else could, and she just kept doing that.
Whoa.
And the thing is that you might be thinking, oh well, maybe she was just saying that you're dying, but the gig was going really well. I could just see her going like that at me, and I was like, well, then what does that mean? 'Cause
Was she
Yeah.
on next?
That's
yeah,
my
maybe.
bit, you son of
gonna
a
kill
bitch.
you.
No, she was. It was in York. It was a gig in
Right.
York. What does that explain it?
Don't go back to York. Don't go back to York. I did a gig in Croydon. I do a piece about how I got run over by a bike in Dalston, which is a true story. And I said, I got run over by a bike in Dalston, and they cracked up laughing, and that was the only thing they laughed at.
Oh,
They
no,
just
no,
liked the idea of
no.
me being run over by a bike. They were like, yes, good. Just the size of you. Yeah, that was a long 10 minutes, that was. Anyway, conspiracy theories. So that was a good one about you.
Yeah, conspiracy theory about me by conspiracy theorists. So
That's like a double, like, I'm getting you another point. What's your favourite conspiracy theory, Chris?
I don't like any of them.
Which one do you hate the most?
Probably COVID. This idea that it's been sort of like, and I'm only saying that because it's current.
Right.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's been engineered
Yeah.
to keep us all in boxes and to keep us inside.
My uncle's a subscriber to that theory. The vaccine is tiny
Well,
robots.
the
So
other
my
thing-
dad put his sticker up and he was like, I got the vaccine. He's like, oh, well, sheeple. Good luck getting taken over by the government. Now, I love my dad, but I don't think that they want his minds.
Yeah.
Like,
I think about that. I think, like, what is it they want to do with me? I'm a broke comedian with a child. I'm bringing nothing to the table.
They want to keep you. They want to keep you as a broker.
Oh, I see.
I think because I've got a cousin who, if he's watching this, it'd be very weird. But if you are, hello, I haven't seen you for a while. Also, sort your life out. This idea that like the government are doing it, and the thing, I fucking hate the government. I don't think they're doing it on purpose.
No.
What is it? How is it
They're
in
not
their interest?
I
intelligent
think
enough
they
to
are
do it
doing
on
their
purpose.
best, and this is
It's
their
just
best.
shit.
Yeah. Their best won't do. This is it.
Either COVID or 9/11. And the only reason I hate that so much is because I once broke down on my way to a gig.
Yeah.
My car did.
I was going to
fine.
say,
Yeah.
it was so
I was like,
It was on 9/11.
Well, actually,
9/11.
well, listen. One followed very closely afterwards because It was a very, very far away gig from where I lived. I was living up north,
Yeah.
and the gig was in Kent. And I broke down just off the M25.
Right.
And I was like, I'm so very nearly there. But my breakdown cover, apparently, I'd been either naive or lied to, and it wasn't valid. So it wouldn't. They couldn't tow me to the gig or
I
tow
used
me
to sell
home.
that, so it's probably...
Oh right. It was it's because it came in
It's
my.
probably not you, it's me.
It was because it was my bank account. Apparently, it was included in my bank account.
The
so
link stuff's no good. Check. Check the T's and C's.
That's
No joke.
I do know
just,
as well.
Just
I do.
message. No, just,
Also,
What was the 9/11 bit?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
For a while,
conspiracy
I
theory.
had in a
Breakdown
minute.
cover
Suze,
is
in a
a
I
minute.
hear about 9/11.
For a while, I had 2 breakdown covers so that I could get, if it happened again, I get towed to the gig on one of them and then get towed home on the other one.
Wow. Did that cost extra to have both
Yeah,
of
but
those?
not like loads.
Okay.
It actually sort of like, for peace of mind, I thought it was worth
More
it.
than
Anyway,
getting a taxi home.
Yeah.
my breakdown cover wasn't valid, so the only place I could get towed to was the garage that had come and picked me up, and that happened to be in Swanley. And I'd never been to Swanley
I've
before.
never been.
It's really nice.
But I had to spend like all night at this 24-hour recovery garage.
Oh my God. In your car?
No. They let me spend the night with them.
What?
Well, no, because they didn't go home. It was like they were working the night shift, and
Right.
there was one guy who was going to be looking at. He said, "I'm going to look at your car in the morning," and he was sort of like a proper Jack the Lad, and he had
Right.
no qualms about telling me that he was sleeping with the day receptionist Yvonne behind his wife Sharon's back.
Oh, sorry,
was
Sharon, if you're
9/11.
watching.
Yeah, Sharon from Swanley.
9/11.
We're getting there. And then
We're taking a scenic route.
it was about.
You're getting towed there. That's what's happening.
It was about 3 a.m. and one of the guys that had come back from a job towing somebody else back, he came in and he was like, "I've got the Alien trilogy in my cab, all 5." He said, "Do you want
Hey, yeah, okay.
do you want to watch the
Fine.
Do you want to watch the Alien trilogy?" And I said no, not really. And
they're
then he
good.
said, "I know, just the thing." And he wanted to show me his third favourite 9/11 conspiracy theory documentary, and
His third
favourite.
favourite.
he was very specific
Wow.
about it being his third favourite.
Okay, right,
and I
okay.
can't remember the titles of all of them. I can't even remember the
Loose
one we
change,
watched.
it? Yeah.
zeitgeist.
I
It'd
can't-
be all
I can't remember which one we watched, but he kept pausing it and he kept going, "Look, where did the wings go?" When,
Oh, right.
You know, the
Oh.
Pentagon. He was like, "Where did the wings go?" Yeah.
The only
Oh
thing
my
worse than
God.
watching those documentaries is watching it with somebody who pauses it every couple of minutes
Yeah,
and
it
goes,
was-
"Oh, hey, check this out."
It
You're
took
like,
a really long time, and then the phone rang, and I said, "Oh, that'll be the FBI," and he shat himself. And it wasn't. It was just some couple that had been out dogging. They left their lights on, and the car wouldn't start,
Amazing.
so they had to go and get them.
That's incredible.
So I was there all night, and then had a huge. I didn't believe the 9/11 conspiracy theories anyway, but I now hated them more because he made me watch this.
Yeah.
And then when the guy who had left the night before came back to look at my car, he'd already quoted me the night before. He said it'd probably be about 90 quid, and then he had a look. He was like, "Yeah, it'd probably be about 370." And I was like, "Oh no! Last night you said it was 90 quid last night." And then he went, "Yeah, well, what can I do?" And I went, "All right."
No, you can make it cheaper.
Yeah, well,
No.
I said to him, I don't know where this came from because I'm not this sort of bloke normally, but I think I just spent all night listening to this fucking 9/11 conspiracy theory documentary.
Yeah.
I just said, "Listen, okay, you said 90 quid last night, so the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want Sharon to find out about Yvonne?"
Yeah. Chris Stokes, that's fucking beautiful.
It was
That is-
it was 90 quid.
yeah, it was 90 quid. Absolutely.
But if you wanted to be that guy one time, that was the time. to
Yeah,
play.
it was.
That
It just
is
sort of like, it
incredible.
was one of those things where I think I had an out-of-body experience and I just heard myself saying that.
Just
He sounds like a wrong un though.
That's beautiful. Wow.
What
Ah,
you were
fuck,
saying?
I can't follow that.
Flat earther?
I was-
What's
well,
that?
no,
Well, that
I
is
was-
how Chris and Masud met.
Yes.
Masud and
yeah.
Sharon did split up.
Yeah, we did split up. Me and Sharon were not longer together. No, my favorite is either Moon Nazis or Nazis in the Center of the Earth. Love Moon Nazis. I think that's so funny. That's such a funny,
Nazis.
so ridiculous conspiracy theory. So if you don't know it,
Please explain.
it's the
about
idea
Moon
that
Nazis to me.
the Nazis left Earth just towards the end of World War II and are now living on a hollowed out moon, or they live. There's an entranceway in Antarctica to the center of the Earth, and the Nazis live.
Is there an intercom?
Yeah, the hollow.
I cannot wait to go home and Google this.
Because the thing
It's
is,
Adolfin.
the moon Nazis I think I've only heard because of Iron Sky.
Because of the film Iron Sky, yes.
But the centre of the Earth is new. This is literally the first time I've
Ah,
heard
yes.
about
So
it.
that's
the hollow earth.
Hollow Earth. So there's a Hollow Earth theory in which the Nazis also live inside the Hollow Earth. I mean, it's a lot of fun, that one, because also
Do you
there's.
reckon they got a beach down there and stuff?
Oh yeah, I think there's a whole little microcosm of
Like there's
all
Japanese
sorts.
indoor beaches.
Oh, yeah.
Do you reckon that door in the Dyatlov Pass?
That
do you reckon
leads, that leads straight to the
Down
center
to
of the
the
earth.
Nazi
That goes
paradise.
right.
He was selling this to me. I'm like, this sounds like fun.
Hey, you know what? I'll go down, hang out with a couple of.
Because it's really
The
hot.
company would be poor.
In the centre of the
but
earth.
Well, it
right?
should be. If you believe in the theory of central heat, which science has proven, then
I mean,
then yeah, it'd be really hot down there.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're still all buttoned up?
Oh yes, it's
They look
very,
fantastic.
Say what you like about
In
the
the
Hollow
Hugo
Earth
Boss.
Nazis. They look fantastic.
Beautiful Hugo Boss uniforms. So.
Just sweating. Just
Do you
everything.
reckon they've grown their blonde locks out and they're all ripped? It's like they're all like surfer dudes.
They're kind of like
Hess is like a god.
still alive.
I'd say, yeah, definitely. It's just so ridiculous. The idea of that. It feels so fun because it's like, well, hang on a second. You're not willing to admit that they lost because they clearly did, right? Be like, no, they're coming back. When? Why? When? Why?
Is there an element of like biding their time?
Is that's
why
the
they're
idea?
sort of
Yeah,
like-
they're kind of just waiting until the right time to strike, and then they'll just pop out through a volcano. I don't know. They'll just,
Oh.
or in my head, it'll come out through your tap. One of them will just pop
Come
out.
out through the volcano. I like it. On a
Out
bodyboard.
of toilets.
Yeah, out the toilet.
Because they're all
Out of
surfing.
toilets. They'll all
they're
burst
surf
into your
Nazis.
home. Out of
Surf
your toilets.
Nazis. Surf down the volcano. Looking great.
Just righteous. Yeah, all
I
right.
really enjoyed your surf mode. It was. This is the first time we've all this is the first time I've met you, Vix.
As well,
Yeah.
yes.
But
I
this
feel
is
like
the-
I've always been here. to be honest.
But this is the first time that the three of us have been in a room together for so long.
Yeah.
That like I forgot that we moved and did things.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's normally just your voice.
Because
But
it's very much limited to that tiny screen.
That's
where
how I
usually-
like it these days. Right, anyway, we're going to move on. We've learned a lot. Just collecting my thoughts.
Big fan of the tombola.
It feels
Right.
really
Good,
old,
isn't
like
it?
kicking it old
I like
school.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
Have you
it
ever run a
good?
tombola?
No, the last time I heard about a tombola was in the my dad wrote a porno podcast, and I had to look it up. I didn't know what and then I was like, oh, a tombola, right.
Did
yeah.
you think it was like a rusty trombone or something?
Something
a
like that,
sex
yeah,
act
some
that
sort
you
of
didn't
weird-
know what
yeah,
it was.
the
Some of them aren't as
tombola.
good as this. Some of them are just a box with a handle on.
No, I like this.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
that's
good.
I'll let
proper.
you do the next
Authentic.
one.
Way.
Unpopular opinions.
Oh, well, I hate Masud.
Would we
said
call that
unpopular.
opinion unpopular?
He's a well-liked man, and I hate that.
It did for a while. There was a running joke that you hated
Yeah,
Masud.
there was.
Yes.
I used to be like, I can't stand Masud on the podcast.
But I
I used to say it
remember-
all the time, and then I kind of stopped doing it. But I've always like hoped that Masud knew it was a joke and didn't just go, well, I guess she grew to like me.
It's like, yeah, I think it was one day those guys will get me.
No, I thought it was very obvious that it was a joke, but not to
Yes.
the listeners because the original joke was cut
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
and then
that's
it
it,
only
yeah.
was the callbacks
You're
that kept.
right.
Yeah,
you're
and
right,
so all
yeah.
that had they kept in
Yeah.
just you saying you
Yeah.
didn't like me, and so everyone's like, "Whoa, she really hates him."
Sooz is a
She's-
bitch because
she's-
he's so
Well, it
lovely.
was because I'm always drunk on the podcast because we do a drinking podcast. Like I'm having to do this sober, and frankly, it's a struggle. But like, yeah, well, I'd get drunk and be like, part of my shtick was that I hated Masud.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought that was quite a fun.
Well, that's it because Masud said so cool as well. It just sounded like he was just brushing it off.
Yeah, it's like-
Yeah.
whatever.
Did you ever talk about it outside the podcast, or did you just let this?
I think we just sort
just
of
let it fester.
I think we
Sometimes
sort
I text him, "Fuck
of.
you."
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Well, we used to go out for a drink after we recorded the podcast, and then I think Masud must have been like, "Well, if she hates me, like she's
Why
hiding
she-
it pretty well."
Very good.
Hey, I'll get the drinks in, and Masud's like, "I like it when she's in a good mood."
It's
That's so much self-confidence, though, to be like, maybe she hates me. I don't care.
It's-
No,
yeah.
I like that energy. Have you got an unpopular?
An unpopular opinion. Oh, you see, the thing is, the problem is that my unpopular opinion is that I don't have many unpopular opinions.
Okay.
Is that I
That is
seem to
definitely
like.
unpopular with me.
It's I seem to sort of just like, yeah, most things I'm like, yeah, I'm into that, or I'm like, no, that's.
Yeah, I don't know whether you noticed, but she just wrote "get him" there on the.
Yeah, good one, Vix.
Get
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, I'm giving more points to Sooz every time you say that. Oh, come on.
An unpopular opinion. This is tricky.
I'll tell you mine if you want,
Okay,
and then
cool.
you have
Go
a
on,
think
we'll
about
give
it.
you some
Okay, yeah,
thinking
go.
time.
Mine's lame, but I will die on the hill
Yeah.
sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is that George Lazenby is a better James Bond than Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan.
Wow.
See, I'm inclined to agree with you because of a certain story of how he became.
Oh, he got the role.
How he got
Yes,
the role,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, that makes him better.
No, it's one of those things. that
Educate us.
he gets a lot. Oh, about how he got the role.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, you know, we're talking about confidence there, where Masood's like, oh, maybe she just hates me and stuff. That's nothing compared to Lazenby
man,
confidence.
that's good.
Lazenby was not an actor. Lazenby was he had a lot of modelling jobs that he fell into by accident because he was a car salesman, and then somebody came and bought a car from him and was like, can I take your picture? And he thought it was a gay thing, so he went, no. And then eventually the bloke wouldn't stop, and he was like, oh, can you can I take your picture? And he was like, this gay guy wants to take my picture. It's horrible. And then the photographer, I think, sent his wife over and said just flirt with him. And then it turns out that she was trying to get it so her husband could take his picture.
Did he just say?
I don't know. But he ended up sort of like doing a couple of modelling jobs off the back of this. And then Sean Connery just quit the James Bond role, and that was a big deal at the time. And then George Lazenby decided, I think I'd like that job.
Yeah.
I think I'd like that job. So he
Ask the universe, like Noel Edmonds.
yeah, it was. Do you know what? It wasn't even cosmic ordering. He just decided he was going to turn up to the auditions, and he waited until he went and got his hair cut from the guy that cut Sean Connery's hair. He took
So specific.
He took a suit that Sean Connery had bought and had never picked up from the tailor. He was like, have you got a suit that like Sean Connery's? And the guy was like, no, I've got Sean Connery's. And so he took that, and then he waited until the secretary was looking the other way, and he just walked past the desk up to the office, and Harry Saltzman was sitting there, and apparently he had his feet on the desk, but he didn't have his shoes on, and he pointed at George Lazenby, he said, sit down, and Lazenby was like, I'm not sitting down with your feet there. So he just walked over to the window, and Harry Saltzman finished his phone call, put it down, and he was like, what, can I help you? And Lazenby went, I hear you're looking for the next James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
cannot
God.
be true. That's beautiful.
Apparently, it's so cool. That's so cool.
But did he tell you that?
Did he tell me that? It's
Chris's
in
dad.
that's why I think he's better than Pierce Brosnan.
My dad's
Roger
the
Moore.
best James Bond.
The thing is,
What a
there are
twist that would be.
There are some people on the planet that will say that. If one of
Their
the
dad's the best
if
James
one of the
Bond.
James Bond's kids
Yeah.
is getting drunk in a bar, and then somebody says, "You Timothy Dalton's kid? He
Yeah.
was shit."
Yeah.
So
Like,
you
don't
think
get
even if it
It's
was
no
Timothy
longer
Dalton's kid, you'd feel like they'd fight for the honour? Because this is a very specific small group.
There are 6 James Bonds, and not all, like they've got very few children. Is that what you mean? Right.
That all their kids hang out. It feels definitely like a playground thing where they're like, my dad's dead. No, my dad actually is James.
You think they all went to school together?
Yeah.
My dad's a better James Bond than your dad.
So yeah, that is quite an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But now I think he is as well. You've sold it to me.
It works, doesn't it?
I
It is
don't
a
know how I
good
feel
story.
about this information. Masud.
It's okay. All right. Maybe this is okay. A lot of people hate the new Star Wars films. I don't care. I don't care.
I feel the same.
I don't care about them. And I find it really frustrating that I talk to people who are like, they've ruined the franchise. I'm like, I don't have time to think about that. or care about it. And I tell this to people's faces, and they're like, "Why? Doesn't it ruin your childhood?" I'm like, "I had a pretty great childhood. If that ruined it,
I
then
think something like just retroactively ruin it. Like your childhood's over. There's no
Exactly.
way it can be ruined.
There's no way that it's and it drives me up the wall. People like or original thing. People have this real obsession with original things being better, and then like newer things not. So like somebody said this to me about the Blade Runner this Blade Runner sequel. I watched it, like that was great. And then somebody's like, "Oh no, the original was really good." I rewatched the original. Original's fucking boring.
It's boring.
That's another unpopular opinion.
Roll it
Blade
now.
Runner's
You've rolled it
fucking-
now. You're like,
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
got
yeah.
any. Right.
All the effects look amazing still, and you go like, "Wow, how did they do that?"
Yeah.
But the film is boring.
Yeah,
boring.
there's a model shot, and then it's got some synthy music, and you think, "Oh, that's nice," for about
Yeah.
5 seconds,
Yeah.
and then you're like, "Oh, we're back to that." Are we?
Sorry, Blade Runner fans.
Yeah,
Also,
sorry.
I
Is there
don't
any
like
of
the
you out
bit.
there?
I don't like the bit where Harrison Ford's like saying to that woman, "Tell me you want me," and she's like, "I want you." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's really gross. Yeah.
And he has it off with her.
It's such a.
But she literally looks like.
I mean, I've never seen it, but I feel like I have now.
If you are going to watch it, don't watch the director's cut. Everyone says everyone says that's better.
No,
but
it's just longer and more.
Yeah, exactly. It's
boring.
longer.
Yeah.
Well, if you like the film, you'd like more of it.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Is the theory.
Yeah.
If it's not for
That
you,
is
don't
really like
bother.
more of it.
Yeah. If you
She's
did like,
not wrong.
Yeah. People do hate watch things, don't they? It's like, what did you expect to happen? I don't like people who tell me my view of the film is wrong either.
Yeah,
that
I
must
can't
be
fucking
crazy.
stand it.
Yeah.
I did experience it positively, and you telling me I'm wrong does not change my
I-
experience.
What do you think, Vix, while we're on this? Maybe this is an unpopular opinion of yours, but you know, if something is just all right,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to say that, are you anymore,
Yeah.
really? Some people are like, it's the best thing ever, or it's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen, but you can't just say, oh, it's fine.
Yeah. I don't feel I wasted my life, but I won't watch it again.
Yeah, totally.
Um,
I call those if it's movies, I call those specifically like Sunday afternoon hangover films.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, it's on. Yeah, I'll just stay. I'll stick with this.
Screensaver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Any
We live,
decision.
we live in a time where that doesn't really happen much anymore, because if it's on,
No.
you've put it on.
Yeah, I know. I miss that
It's
so
still
much.
different though, watching it on telly. Like when a film's on telly, I'll be
Yeah.
like,
Do you
oh,
still
it's
do
on
that?
there.
Do you still do that?
We what we'll do is
When
we
I'm
will-
at my mum's house, specifically
Ah,
at
you'll do-
Christmas, subgenre.
If a film
Yeah.
is on, and maybe even if you've missed the first 10 minutes, but you're like, oh no, it's on.
I love
I'll
it.
stick
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
we
yeah.
do that with Film 4. Sometimes if we can't decide a film to watch, we will look at the Film 4 listings and watch what is on Film 4, like on whatever streaming platform we have.
That is so disciplined.
Just to, like, be
rather
like,
than
oh,
dead
this is good.
scrolling.
Yeah.
This is genius.
That's
See?
so weird.
I know.
I was the thing is,
I like that you're like, that's
It was-
so weird. I'm making a note.
it was almost on cue, because
Yeah.
I turned to Sooz and I was about to say, do you do that?
And she was like, no, because it's weird.
I turned
That's
round,
weird.
I turned round and her face was like this.
Why are you like this? This is why I hate
This is
you.
why you hate me, of course. This is exactly the reason.
What was the last thing you watched on Film 4?
The last thing I watched on Film 4.
Manchu.
I love
or
this.
Train Spotting. It's one of
wow.
the two.
Oh my
A
god.
Field in
yeah.
England was on.
Oh,
quite
that's
a
my
bit.
favourite
Yeah,
film
yeah.
It was
2013.
If genuinely, it was probably the tail end of Goodfellas.
Oh, a film that if it's on, you have to watch it from wherever it's
From
on.
where exactly? Yeah,
There
wherever
you
it
go,
lays, that's where you.
Wherever it lay.
Wherever it lay. And it's usually around the bit where Robert De Niro is ordering people to take everything back. That's usually where I end up. Just like, get that haircut. You got that haircut? Take that haircut back.
I
Take
love
it
that,
back.
but I love that car.
Take it back. Take it
I
back.
tell you what, even on somebody else's podcast, we still get a Goodfellas
Yeah.
reference
I
in.
can't stop.
It's
It's
a
like
crossover. It's fine.
Yeah, we will always talk about Casino and Goodfellas on our podcast.
Always.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's in our contract.
Is that why the studio shut down?
That's probably why we're probably getting sued. That's why they're like, we can't keep up legally. You keep.
We better
mentioning the
lawyer
film.
up if we want to keep talking about those Scorsese bangers.
We keep saying how good they are, not even defamatory. We've heard from Scorsese's lawyers. He wants you to tone it down.
He says you guys are bad for the brand.
She sent me a script on spec 16 years ago.
I did.
20 years ago.
20 years
Yeah.
ago, I did send Martin Scorsese a script, wrote the lead for myself and Robert De Niro.
Did
Two
you?
leads. Yeah. Do you want to know if he got back to me?
I can guess, but yeah.
Perhaps
Wouldn't
you've
it
seen
wouldn't
a
it be
little
great if she
film.
said, yeah?
that was so withering.
I could guess.
Well, the joke's on you. Perhaps you've seen a little film called Bringing Out the Dead.
No. Nope.
Nope.
Well, you're missing out on me and Robert De Niro. No.
I'd love it if you sent him Hugo.
I would.
Of
I
course,
would.
I sent him Hugo. He changed it just enough.
Changed it slightly.
Son of a bitch. Chloe Grace Moretz can't stand that bitch. No, she's very good.
Although she'd be cast now in the film that you sent, if they were
Yeah.
to make it.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd have to be 16. I could still play with
I
her.
reckon. Have you got an actor CV? What's your age range?
My age range,
Yeah.
16 to 21.
Okay.
Why are you all laughing?
Inches tall.
People are putting their mics on to laugh at that.
Yeah.
Fucking arsehole. My actual age range.
Kevin there's got a drink. Kevin's the only one drinking.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you drinking, Kevin?
What are you doing there, Kev?
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know.
Blood piss.
Blood.
Do you know what? I regret this now. It's weird. Doesn't know what he's drinking and it's
Poor
deep red.
Kevin. Poor Kevin. Have you got an unpopular opinion, Kevin? Or a theory about
my unpopular
Goodfellas?
opinion is I don't like to know what I'm drinking. People think that's weird.
My unpopular opinion is just give it me.
I mean, there's so few surprises in lockdown life. Yeah, why not? Why not? Be more Kevin. Hashtag be more Kevin.
I agree, actually. Like, especially if you're, you want surprises coming to the door.
100%. Yeah.
That's why I shop on Instagram drunk.
What's the best thing you bought on Instagram?
Last week, Elf Ears arrived because I played
Elf Ears?
Dungeons
You
and
shop on
Dragons.
Instagram?
So
Yeah, it's a new
I
thing.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's basically a shopping site now.
I was offered them, and I was like, yeah. Get in my bus.
Elf Ears.
Elf Ears. 3 types of Elf Ears.
I
as
was
well.
offered them.
Like
It's an advert, Vix.
You know when you said, so do they come in pairs? And the reason I asked that is because you bought 3 different ones. So like socks, could you have odd elf ears now?
There were 3 in the pack. Actually, it was a very good deal. It was about £6, British pounds, and
3 pairs,
they were
not 3
big.
ears.
Yeah, they were big ones, like slightly more daytime ones, if you will, and like and more rustic ones, if you want to be like.
Rustic?
Did you put some on and think I could wear this for work?
It's
that is how I spice up my work calls. But I'm such a terrible show off that no one acknowledges when I'm doing that shit anymore. They're just
'cause
like, oh, it's
I,
this today. Is it sunglasses? It's this.
I pictured you down the shops and you're wearing them and you're like, oh, and the guy's like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. My local Tesco's is done with my bullshit.
I've got a Tesco around me, which I think is the worst Tesco I think in the country, because, and I know this because they put their.
Because you've been to them all.
I've been to all.
We will hear evidence.
They put their chocolate and olive oil behind the counter, and you have to ask
What?
for it because they
What, like
keep
their
getting
cigarettes?
because they keep getting robbed.
How middle class is that robbery?
They're robbing chocolates. And
Because they're the
olives.
most expensive things in that Tesco,
What's the
right?
resale
Chocolate
market
and
for that
olive oil.
though? Like, where are they selling that? Are they going?
have no
you
idea.
can't even go to a local
They-
bank like you do with
the
knockoff
most
DVDs. Like, want some olive oil?
I live on
Oh,
Green
fantastic.
Lanes where it's like it's
With
a
the-
big Turkish
with, like,
place.
in the
They
coats
have
like
way
that.
better olive oil. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you with your Philippa Berrio. I can get that in the shop. Like.
Hey, you want some olive oil? Ugh. Why is it in my hands?
in baggies.
He's like shaking it. And he's grossed out too. He's like, ugh.
Ugh. Yeah. So they.
I literally can't get it off my hands.
I really.
Yeah. And he wipes it on your coat, but he maintains eye contact.
I went to just to buy something there, and they got the shoplifter. They got robbed as I was there,
Amazing.
and not like gunpoint, but like somebody just.
Was it like Always Sunny?
Did you? I wish. Oh my god, it was so close. It was so basically.
Did you have like a little fantasy where you went and drop kicked them all?
Well, it's horrible there anyway because no one ever serves you. But I'm standing there, and they
Doesn't mean they deserve
they
to be
run
robbed.
out. These guys
Because
run
they're
out.
terrified you're going to rob them.
Yeah, they're like this guy. So they
There's the
there's a thief. They
He's hiding olive oil in his hair.
you guys.
It's full of secrets in olive oil.
The guys run out, and then all of the staff of this Tesco chase the guys who robbed the place, and I'm stood there in an empty Tesco, just like, I think I know why this place keeps getting robbed. There's no one fucking here.
They left you to it like a vigilante.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, okay, all right, we'll do this, and Masud, you get the rest. Just run out, like,
Don't worry, guys, I've got this. I've got
I don't know what happened.
It's my Tesco now.
winner stays on Tesco. Like,
the guy from Captain Phillips. It's my Tesco now.
the olive oil goes in front of the counter.
And then, like, when you get left there, you realise that it's your domain now, and just before you get to work, you put your throw up in a top knot.
Oh yeah, we have. There's a thing called Top Knot Masud.
Top knot Masud is cooler than
He
Masud.
can do
Yeah.
anything.
He's my.
I can't. I don't think you can get any cooler.
It's
Sorry,
well, you haven't met Top Knot Masud.
He's pretty great.
Earlier on
I'm gonna have to
Twitter,
book you again, Stu.
earlier on Twitter, Vix said that she was looking forward to this to be cool by association, and I said Masood's the cool one, Sooz and I bask, and I've never had a tweet liked quicker.
Wow. Wow.
Who liked it? You.
Yeah,
No, you.
Top Knot Masud was on that. He was like,
Top Knot Masud came in. He did a little spin. He was like,
click.
I didn't know you then. I do now. Now I've got to. Right. I think this is the last category.
You said you'd let Masood do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll
let
do
me
it.
do it.
Go on.
Oh my god, he's amazing at it.
Look at that go.
I can never do it again. No, he's completed. He's completed the
The
Tombola.
machine just falls apart.
I just love this idea. He's not going to stop.
Yeah,
You try taking it back. He's like, no.
No. For a second, I was like,
It's like Tesco. It's like it's mine. Now.
this is mine. It belongs to me now.
Yeah. Closest you've come to committing a petty crime. Or have you committed a petty
Closest?
crime? Yeah, come on then.
Done it loads. What?
Let's have it.
All right. Let me think.
The statute
I
of
think-
limitations is probably up.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check with my lawyer. Hang on.
Well, I mean, like, I have accidentally stolen stuff from shops before.
Accidentally?
Yeah, when I was like a teenager, I would pick something up, walk around Tesco's with it, and then make my way through the checkout with my mum, and then go,
That is
I
just
didn't pay
theft
for
there,
that.
what you're
I
talking
just stole it. I just stole it. But, like,
By
I got
accident.
that white woman thing, so they just assume, like, oh, she was probably meant to have that.
She came in with that. She came in with it. It's fine.
This is funny because I considered saying something. I was like, is she gonna say it or should I say it?
That's literally, I suddenly was
That's the shopkeeper speaking.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, you paid for that? Dude, it was in a Tesco 20 years ago.
fine.
Sorry, it's the Tesco code.
I stole some onions from Waitrose in that manner because I hooked it over. I hooked the bag over my arm like a handbag, and then I just swung away with it.
Oh, right.
I don't think
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Susie Bennett, do you know Susie Bennett, brilliant comedian Susie Bennett. She puts,
you can't talk about her crimes here.
Oh no, it's funny. No, she's talked about this very openly. She used to.
It's work.
Yeah, I love the way you can't talk about her crimes here. Like she's committed some.
She uses
crazy
her one phone call to ring Sooz and say, "Why did you top me in on that live stream?"
She whistleblow.
She
That's
will
not what the
kill a
category's about.
Calm down, Snowden. Come on.
Susie Bennett puts on self-checkout. She puts a fillet steak through as a carrot.
No, she doesn't.
Danny McLaughlin used to have a great bit about because when they first introduced self-checkouts, he was like, "Yeah, if you want a massive steak, don't scan it, weigh it, press broccoli."
Whoa.
Why broccoli?
I don't know.
Cheap.
I think
Funny
phonetically,
word.
if we're talking comedy,
Funny
phonetically
word,
broccoli
innit?
is very funny.
That's why they brought the weighing scales thing in. But you're right. No, that would overcome the weighing scales.
Yeah, just don't put the barcode facing up.
When I was a student, I used to take the reduced stickers off things that were actually reduced and put them on the things that I was buying. That
Yeah,
was-
you did.
Do you reckon there's anybody watching this, like with a notepad and pen, and going,
Yes, this is all
Yeah.
good.
Is that theft or is it opportunist?
I think it's
"It's playing the system.
Yes.
property is
Yeah.
theft. You should just shout that. Property is
Give it back then."
For a
no.
while in Tesco's, if you got a 3 for 2 thing and they were reduced, it could you'd basically be paying the customer back for them because they took all the money off. Yeah, I don't know if they still do that because that was a long time ago. I used to run the Vice kiosk at Tesco. Cigarettes.
You were in Vice?
Gambling and condoms. That's how we used to call it to my friends, rather than I work in Tesco's in the sad box. But yeah, it were all the vices, and so I had a couple of complaints.
Olive
The one-
oil, chocolate.
Yeah. One complaint I had was somebody buying cigarettes, and they were like, "Oh, this is a good deal," and I was like, "You might as well roll that $5 up and smoke it." Yeah.
Oh, you
They didn't
sassed
like.
them.
They
You
didn't
sassed
like that. That was not
No,
popular.
smokers don't like when you sass them.
No.
It's really weird because it's like your money's going up and smell like, I know. We're like, well, then stop.
Smoking's bad for you dirty lungs, and they're like, it is.
The condoms were my favourite though because they're in shiny wrappers, so they wouldn't scan, and they thought I was just hamming it up because they were embarrassing.
Yeah, right.
But it's legitimately like, I'm sorry,
she's
they
such a
don't
sh-
scan.
Yeah.
She's
She's a showman, isn't she? It's always a big show with Vix, and she's like,
Watching people pile things over the top, like maybe you won't have to scan them, or maybe you won't notice them. It's like, did you want these carrots, or did they just encompass the condoms for you? And
Yeah.
it was going down the
It's so funny that it's like just go in, just be confident, just buy them. Don't be like, I'm buying a watermelon and some condoms. Like, yeah, now I got questions.
If I have to buy Imodium, I'm proud. I go 6 of those, please, to stop my diary.
Put it on the tannoy, please.
I am shipping through the eye of a needle. I would like these,
I
please.
need these right now. Shopkeep. Masud's like, oh, I wish I'd never taken over this Tesco.
Of all the Tesco's.
Has anyone else
Just
committed
rob
a petty
me, please.
crime or wants to throw their friend under the bus?
I've got. What I'm about to say is there are mitigating circumstances, and I'll
Okay.
go into them. But I assaulted a homeless person.
Oh my God.
Now, in retaliation, they assaulted me first, but
Okay.
they grabbed my penis. I punched them in the face. But the problem is that everybody showed up as I punched them in the face.
No. American Psycho.
And you just hate it when that happens.
And I also I had a copy of The Guardian, so it looked like I was just. It really looked like a class thing, and I was carrying it under my arm because I'd just bought it. And it was in a bus station in the middle of the night. These happened a lot in the middle of the night. I was coming back from a gig.
Such a Chris story.
And I was waiting in Liverpool bus station. Yeah. And then after about, I didn't really know what to do. After about 20 minutes, this homeless guy came in, and it was an empty bus station, but he sat in the seat right next to me.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't want him to ask me for any money because it would be awkward. And the reason for that is because I didn't have any. No. Because there's a reason I was getting the bus.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m.
You sat at the bus stop.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Look at where we are, dude.
Yeah, I would have booked a hotel.
Yeah.
If I had it.
Yeah.
So I ended up sort of thinking, oh no, I hope he doesn't ask me for any money. But he didn't. He leant over and he said, "Can I shag you?"
What?
And I just said no.
Yeah.
So I didn't want him to. So I got up.
It's hard to get, I see.
So I did.
I mean, you're painting a picture here. You stayed overnight in a
Yes,
garage
well,
because apparently you had
such a
to.
flirt.
What is like? Yeah. What
What is it about buildings and you late at night? And everyone just wants you.
Yeah.
There's always a storm to shelter from, right? So
That's why I laughed at the beginning. It's not the act of Chris being assaulted. It's just like homeless guy grabbed my penis, so I punched him. I was like, this story could not be more Chris Stokes.
And he followed me around the bus station because, like, when he grabbed, he sort of like said, "Can I shag you?"
And you said no, and he went.
He put his hand. No. He put his hand on my leg, and then I went, "Right, I'm off."
Yeah,
but I still had a bus to wait for.
Right.
Where to go. So I just went from one end of the bus station to the other, and he followed me really slowly.
Yeah.
Like a zombie.
Yeah. So I walked back to the other end, and he was chasing me, but it was at walking pace.
Right.
And it was, and after it was
a killer in a slasher movie.
Yeah, and after
were you like setting in your mind? Were you filming it like this is how it ends? Like, because sometimes when I'm in a dangerous situation, I become like the director. I'm like, I can see how this plays out.
I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was.
This is my final moment.
No, I didn't think I was going to die.
Man in a bus station.
I didn't think I was going to die, but I did think this is going to get worse before it gets better. and
that's a very Chris mindset.
And after a couple of laps, I just went.
After a couple of laps. Wow.
It's like the Olympics.
I just went, fuck off, all right, I want to call the police.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop him, and that's when he lunged and he grabbed my bits.
Yeah.
And it was at that point, it was just a reflex action, I just twatted him.
Yeah.
And he reeled backwards, but he had a look on his face that was worryingly more lustful than before.
Oh no.
And I thought, no, this is what maybe this is what he was trying to get me to do.
No.
But it was at that point that a taxi driver had come in to use the coffee vending machine.
Right.
But he's like I say, his time meant all he assumed was me here, a homeless person, and I had to explain. And he showed me where the security guard's office was, and I ran to the security guard's office.
Yeah.
And the security guard came out, but the homeless guy had legged it by this point, and I was like, well, now I've got.
So he can run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He thought it was he thought it was on.
The thrill is in the chase, never the capture.
Don't you back yourself, Chris. I'm sure you'd be great.
Come on now.
I'm big lovely is what I would be.
Very sensitive, tender.
And I explained what had happened. And he was like, well, this has never happened before. Can you describe the guy in case he comes back? And as I was describing him, I looked over the security guard's shoulder at the window where the buses would be in the daytime. And I said, well, it was that guy. Because he was stood in the middle of that bit with his trousers and his pants around his ankles.
Oh, my God.
No, he wasn't.
And he was just, like, jacking up. But it was, like, I know, that's weird, but it was an eerie sight because he was bathed in moonlight.
Oh.
And he looked beautiful. And Chris
it was then that I realised. I was like,
we've only got 2 minutes left, and we really can't end on that.
Okay, no.
No, but it's good because they became friends.
Yeah, so me and Masud are now friends.
That's how we first met.
And so, like,
beautiful.
I'm glad that security guard was there, but he wasn't, because he pointed at the homeless guy doing that. And to be fair to him, he wouldn't know what to say. But he looked at me and he went, he's probably thinking about you while he's doing that.
Oh my God! What is wrong with men?
That's the whole story.
That's what I took from that story. What is wrong with men?
Beautiful. Wow.
Well, apparently that is how we're going to end the show.
Sorry, everybody.
The happiest of endings.
I mean, you do.
I've robbed lots of places.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. Well, that is how we're going to end it. Well, Chris, what you did there was report a harrowing crime, so I feel like I have to give you the win.
Yeah.
But None of us are happy.
It's always the pity vote, isn't it?
Lovely.
It had moments of levity that I didn't expect. Thank you all for watching Trauma Arcade.
He's finished his blood piss.
Do you know it'd be great if we look back and everybody had left the Zoom
Yeah.
call?
Oh dear.
Except Graham McMillan, who's turned his camera on, he's just shaking his head.
Yeah. I've been Vix Leyton. This has been the Mystery on the Rocks. You guys have been lovely. You can catch more episodes on this. I've made 23 of the Feckers on all the places you get podcasts. Pretty sure that you can find yours in those places as well.
You
Mystery
can.
on the Rocks. Come and listen. It's like this. With that, Vix.
Don't sell as an inferior experience. It's great as well.
You should come on though.
Yes, you should definitely
Yes,
come on.
please.
Yes, I will.
Be our guest, and then roll the credits as I'm singing.
So yeah, Chris is the winner. Suji
I'm
was
a
second.
Oh.
Masud, it was a close run race. It was good. Have a lovely evening. This has been the first day of the Cav Carnival of Comedy. It's been bloody good. I've been in 2 shows, and that's not why it was good, but I was also there. But yeah, come back tomorrow. It's going to be just as good. And support this venue. It's amazing. We need to keep it. So,
Cool.
good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
I've got my dum-dums!
My dum-dums.
Dum-dums!
Yeah, dum-dums.
Well, let's acknowledge that that's not going to happen.
Well, that's fine, then we don't need it.
You can interrupt. They do really help. But